uphill. Sound pretty good. I had a video I put out on that hose on the back of the intake, and that was the lean on bank 1, lean on bank 2, and it was stopping. Like when you would pull up and stop, it would just die. And it fixed the dying part. The lean on bank 1, lean on bank 2 went away. Well, when we rebuilt everything, we ended up getting a lean on bank 1, lean on bank 2 again. And we sprayed starter fluid, you know, because most of the time you think that's going to be a vacuum leak. And I didn't have a computer to read this thing. We took it over to my neighbor, where the business is at, where we do all the filming and stuff with the views. His name's Max. Well, they do car. That's what they do, is fix cars. And he hooked it up to his computer, and we were getting real low pressure. And so he's like, change your fuel pump and see what happens there. And he said that would cause it to do lean on bank 1, lean on bank 2. And so that's where we're at now. I'll let you know what happens. We've done pretty much everything to this old truck. We replaced about, we did the timing chain, the timing, everything. It's a 2004 Ford F150 Lariat. And so I'm going to do the fuel pump, and I'm going to remove the bed. I'm not going to drop the tank. So I'm gonna walk y'all through it. I've got a cherry picker here, and what I'm gonna do is hook on to the tie downs, or the hooks back here in the back, and I am going to jack her up. This is a 50 millimeter. There's 6 screws in this thing, or bolts, whatever you want to call them. They're T50. We have been spraying them with PB Blaster for about 2 weeks now. I'm getting this one. You can't check the dang pressure. You got to have a computer. And my good old neighbor over here is pew pew. More pew-pews in there. More pew-pews in here. Got pew-pews everywhere. There's probably 6 of them in here. But this thing, you have to hook the computer up to it. And so you're supposed to get 46 on the pressure, and 43. I'm sorry, I think it's 43. And Max hooked it up for me, and I'm getting 36. And so this old motor, this thing's been a pain in the butt. We do not have any more leaks. We got all that done. Lean on bank 1, lean on 2 left for a while. We did the timing chain and all that good stuff, the variable timings, on both of them. We did 2 new cams, new rockers. I've replaced pretty much every sensor on this dadburn thing. And I got another weird thing that happened too, and I'll try to show you here in a bit. I'll get the light, but right underneath this thing, there's one of the variable speed timing right back here. It's right underneath the filler tank for the power steering fluid. And I'm not no mechanic or nothing, and Dad is smart as crap on this stuff. And when he was hooking this thing back up, you cannot hardly get to this fitting underneath here. Well, he ended up not getting it plugged in all the way. It was plugged in, but it wasn't down and locked in. And I was getting it was a 0020 code, I believe it's what it was. It was camshaft sensor open, or circuit open, something like that. We looked freaking everywhere for it. We changed the camshaft sensor. I mean, man, we did everything. And I got out here and did the oil and just took everything. You got to take this off to get to the camp. Well, you don't have to, but it's way easier to get to the camshaft sensor. And I started messing with all the wires and everything. And I actually, it had, the oil pressure gauge dropped and it went all the way. It was just a smidgen above the low, but the light didn't come on that said low oil pressure. It'll light up if you drop oil pressure on this thing and tell you, and it never did do that. The valves never rattled, nothing, but the oil pressure literally dropped. Well, when we rebuilt this thing, we did the larger oil pump and stuff in it, and we had not done an oil change since we did it. So I think I was at like 1,700 miles, something like that, since we redid it. And anyway, that plug was not plugged in all the way. I ended up moving stuff around, and the plug come out, and I'm like, holy crap, there it is. I plugged it back in, and this thing's, and I was only getting 11 point. That was kind of the weird thing. I had always gotten like 14 mile to the gallon, 15, 16. It kind of rolled all over that, you know, just depending on what I was doing. But it never, since we rebuilt it, it stayed at 11.1. It never would go up. And it run fine. I could squeal the tires, and it run no issue, but it wouldn't go 11.1. And it ended up being that dang plug. Since I plugged it in, I think I'm at 12.8 right now. I've not reset everything. It would go up a lot quicker, but I've kind of been letting it go on its own. It's only been probably 200 mile, and it's went up, what would that be, almost 2 mile to the gallon. But I'm going to redo this fuel pump, and I thought I would bring you all along, and not a play-by-play, but just kind of once we get into it. I'm still having issues with the surgery and stuff. I'm not all there as far as being able to get down, and so I'm probably not going to be videotaping a lot of the underneath. Once I get the bed up and off, that's another 7mm bolts out, or screws out right here. Hold on to them tight, that way they don't drop down in the gas hole. There you go. So now that gas neck is free. There is a 6mm right there. You can see it. I'm trying to get it in here for you. Right there. It's attaching the bed and the neck. You can kind of see it. I'll show you when I take it apart. You got to undo it. Loosen up the strap. It's attached up here on this rail of the truck. There's two for the, put this one undone already, for the tail light or for the tag lights. And then there's two plugs right up in there, and you gotta unplug them, guys. I'll show you when I get them out. I got the impact, got a breaker bar. I already kind of broke these guys loose yesterday. They kind of cleaned up the bolts on the wire broke. You'll see these guys don't look bad. Put some grease on them, so they're pretty decent. PB blaster. And this is just a regular Milwaukee impact. It's not like a regular big one. Pretty impressive. That PB blaster worked great. You can see how dirty these guys are. I'll take them over to the wire brush and just kind of knock the gunk off of them. But PB blaster did its job. That's for dang sure. It seems like somebody's already had this bed off. I found a bunch of tie wraps on some of the wiring down there, so it's kind of going to be interesting. Not sure exactly what we're going to get into, but we'll figure it out. Well, here's what I kind of got. We ended up putting this guy between the wheels, putting some straps in the bed, and we got her up. This thing don't want to come out. I guess that's why I seen some other videos where they took the bumper off. And I'm not doing that. Not now. I didn't see the reason. But right there is the fuel pump. I can pretty much get everything on the fuel pump right there, which is kind of freaking cool. I'll get the stuff set up and we'll take her out. I don't think I really need to go up any higher with the bed or anything. It's pretty decent. I think where I'm catching that though is right here, and that's why they want you to take the bumper off. This piece here goes in down here, and when you try raising it, I'm scraping. This is a work truck, so be it. I don't know really what these levers are. They got filters. That's kind of crazy. Oh well. Gotta love Ford. I did have a couple other little things. This hose right here unclipped, and there was another hose that went somewhere. I'll figure it out where it's at, then I'll show you where to plug it in. It's like a vent or something. Alright, when you get this guy, it pulls the top one out. I almost need 3 hands. Here, hold that. There you go, sir. Thank you. Yeah, I got an extra hand under here. I'm doing this by myself. It's kind of like the thing. Alright, when you pull this tab out, that pulls that side of the blue out. And then when you push this piece in, I'm trying to do it with the light. Ain't much room under here. But you push him in like that, and then that moves the back guy back, and it takes it over top of this tip. And it's kind of a pain if you don't know how to work them. This plug here, you push the little red thing in the middle, and it comes over, and then you literally just push this down, and it comes undone. This guy here, you push on this side. It's got like a weird, kind of like an L on this side, and you don't push on it, you push on the opposite side. And what that does, it lifts it right up. The blue, kind of show you on the blue one here. When you push on the one side like stays down all the time, and then the other one, when you push it, opens it up. And it don't take a whole lot, but you unhook this thing because you're gonna have to pop this complete thing out of the way. And I've got one more to go here, and then we'll take and clean it. We vacuumed off the top and kind of make it nice. I think this thing's been changed at one time, that or they've been in here, and I don't know why. When I bought this thing, it only had 116,000 miles on it. Alright, we made a dump truck. We popped this thing on off. This stupid tire is rusted, so there's no air in it, and we're trying to get this thing in so we can try to get it to where we can let it down a little bit maybe. And it looks like the whole thing's been crushed at some point. I think this old truck's been in a wreck, and she sure is damn nasty. Rusty underneath here. She's ugly, ugly. Got the old truck running. Here's the spare. Check this beauty out. She's rusted. Like I would be scared to death to put that on. And it's flat. Rubber's good, but it's probably dry rotted. I'd be scared of that rim for sure. But the old truck's done. She's running, and I cleared the codes, and we'll see how she goes. Okay, we got her back on. We're driving. It seems running pretty good. Check engine lights off. I've got a couple of service calls to go see if I can knock out real quick. Ain't nothing real quick with me right now. We're moving slow. Back up. It's going to 8 miles to the gallon now, so it's climbing. I don't know where she's going to stop at. I don't know if it's going to hit the 12.7, 12.8 where it was at, or if it's going to go on up to where it used to be. We will see. Seems like as it gets higher, it gets slower, but it seems to be running good. Well, it went up to about where I was at. It's at 12.5 now. 12.8 is where it got to. Have no check engine light, which, and I've drove it, not really sure, 30 miles, something like that. It should be on here where I reset my 32 mile, almost 33. And got no check engine, and the check engine would pop up pretty much, I don't know, within a mile and a half. And we have nothing. So, no missing, no dying, no nothing. And I am kind of getting to the point, not trying to knock none of these other companies or none of that stuff, but I would, or businesses. I think I'm going to go back with some Ford sensors, O2 sensors, and the oxygen camshaft sensor, mass fuel or mass air intake. I think that's one of them. I'm gonna clean the throttle body again, and just see what happens. And it's kind of fun. I mean, one thing about it, if you got a Ford, you'll love it because you're gonna get to know it really well. But I think that's pretty much it for now. And y'all enjoy. If we get anything any crazy or different, next time we do something, we might post it on here. Like I said, I'm always messing with this stupid truck. So, man, I say stupid, but I love it. It's kind of like a love-hate thing. See y'all.